Ping Pong is a 2014 sports anime directed by one of the industry's biggest talents, Masaki Yuasa. So as you can imagine, expectations were very high. But to be honest, after discovering the show was a sports anime, those expectations were lowered quite a bit. But don't worry, in Ping Pong, the sport is a mere template for the story. Yes, it's very important to the show, but it doesn't contribute too much to the success of the show as you might think. The show asks a lot of great questions. It explores interesting characters and flows effortlessly. Many people are speculating that this anime is the anime of the year, which is unfortunately impossible being in the same year as Mushishi, but it will come damn near close. Anyway, let's get into the review. The story of Ping Pong follows a large cast of characters showing the different aspects and levels of playing ping pong, though the story mainly revolves around our two main protagonists, Smile and Peko. We follow them and the other ping pong players in their age group for a period of time. Although the show is only 11 episodes, it's brilliantly paced so that they fit a lot without it seeming crowded. One of my favourite aspects to ping pong was the way they portrayed playing a sport at a high level. Most sports anime make it look easy and all you need to do is put in some hard work to become a pro. In Ping Pong we get to see the harsh reality that regardless of how much work you put into something, you won't always succeed, and in Ping Pong's case, very few do succeed. This is a very mature way of telling a story, something that Yuasa does a lot. This brings a new, unique element to the story that's really impressive. I love when shows do something different. It's risky, but if done right, it really pays off. And as you'll know if you've watched Ping Pong, it really did pay off. For me, the show really started to impress me in the last 4 or 5 episodes. The finale to a show is very important, but Ping Pong took this to the next level. They wrapped up the story with not only the main characters, but every single other character in the storyline, and made it seem so natural. Ping Pong asks the viewer, how do you define success? Every character in the show had their own definition of success. Some had a specific goal, some had a never-ending goal of becoming stronger. But the show really asks you what's more important, as none of the choices in the show are glorified over any of the other choices. What's more important? Money, happiness, achievement, strength? Again, not picking a side and having all options at an equal level is a very mature way of asking the question. Normally the cliche answer would be happiness. But Ping Pong showed us that in sport, some people aren't just reaching for happiness. They're going for something more. Ping Pong is a very character-based show, so let's talk about them. I just want to start off by saying the characters in Ping Pong were done magnificently. There were literally no characters that I felt were unnecessary or any fan service characters. There was a surprisingly big cast of characters and an impressive amount of development for an 11 episode show. Smile and Peko are our main characters. They take a hugely important role in the overall story and don't feel useless. You become really attached to these characters throughout the show, and not because of the cliches like they're the good guys or he's the funniest. Smile is a very shallow yet deep character. He doesn't show his emotions externally and is often symbolised as a robot throughout the show, but internally he's probably the most emotional character in the show. Due to his lack of expression, he didn't make that many friends growing up. This makes us feel sympathetic. But then the show changes the sympathy into admiration, as he uses his emotionlessness as tactics to win. Smile is by no means a shallow character when it comes to writing or development. His pairing and chemistry with Peko are brilliant, sending shivers through the body during some scenes, especially during the final episodes. Peko is the complete opposite to Smile. He's lively, not serious, and tends to mess around a lot, but where he lacks in discipline and ruthlessness, he gains in motivation and energy. Since the dawn of storytelling, people have been writing about the relationship of two contrasting characters, yin and yang. It's a very common plot device, but Ping Pong does something special with it. The relationship between Smile and Peko isn't your generic cheesy friendship. It's a partnership between two unique individuals. They have a complete understanding of each other. They don't need long pieces of dialogue to shove their friendship down your throat either. The relationship is brought to life through the game of ping pong. This is where Ping Pong sticks out from other sports anime. It uses the sport to mirror what's going on with the characters, showing emotion and passion using no dialogue at all. It's hard to really get into detail about this while keeping it spoiler free, but Smile and Peko's pairing has to be one of the best in recent years. Not only are the main characters brilliant, but somehow they managed to develop a number of very well written secondary characters. Not only that, but everything seemed to fit together. None of the characters failed to connect up to the bigger picture. This sounds like quite a basic thing, but so many anime fail to see the importance of secondary characters as well as the main characters. Overall, the cast of characters worked extremely well. They backed up everything the show was about, while being quite unique and interesting. I was very impressed with how they executed the characters, and was left wondering why other anime have such a hard time. Now, for some weird reason, there's a misconception about art and animation in anime. After reading some people's opinions about the animation of Ping Pong, I was quite surprised. People seem to dislike the animation because it wasn't realistic and not high quality. And this confused me. Why do we feel anime needs to be high quality to be good? Why do we need our anime to look like Fate Zero to be considered good? Let's first look at other forms of art and see how dumb this statement is. Let's start with video games. Do we need our video games to be super high quality to be good? No. A very recent example would be Transistor. It was clearly not as high quality, smooth or detailed as Battlefield 4, so does it make it bad? Of course not. If a live action film is low budget, does it make it bad? No. Then why do we feel that our anime has to be high quality to be good? Why do we have to have perfect character models, polished outlines and fancy shading to be considered something good? So to this I say bullshit! The animation in Ping Pong might not be high quality, but it is by no means bad. In fact, it works better than any other possible style they could have used. It made Ping Pong initially stand out from the overcrowded sports anime market, giving it a unique feel and helped with the fast pacing. The Ping Pong matches themselves were explosive with flowing shapes, colours and style. The characters could all show their emotions perfectly, if not even better than normal, as they could use exaggerated gestures. The animation really mirrors Ping Pong's attempts to question the realism of success in sports. It's a great contrast between the seriousness of the story and the animation. This really helps the viewer delve deeper in thinking about what the characters truly want from success. So in conclusion, if you think that animation is bad for being low quality, you should really reevaluate your opinion. High quality doesn't equal good, and low quality doesn't equal bad. Yet another well done and impressive aspect of Ping Pong. Ping Pong had a surprisingly good soundtrack. They had something fitting for every situation. This is quite unique as the main sports anime tend to sound repetitive. Normally the same one or two songs are played at the very exciting parts, to remind the reader that they're meant to be interested. But in Ping Pong, the soundtrack evolves with the story's development. Towards the end there were some amazing tracks. The tracks were really powerful and captured the emotion of the matches really well. The openings and endings worked very well with the pacing of the show, and became quite iconic for their quirky animation. The only thing holding Ping Pong back from being held up with Yuasa's other work is the fact that it's still a sports anime, and although they managed to create an amazing story with this, it did limit what they could do with the show. I hope this didn't put anyone off, as it's still completely worth watching. Ping Pong really is a great show. Some people might brush it off because of its new animation style, but that's their loss. The show developed characters expertly and told an enjoyable and impressive story, paired with a very powerful ending. This show will be a highlight of 2014. Ping Pong was a great example of why we should be more experimental and less narrow-minded when it comes to the animation style of a show. If you did enjoy Ping Pong, I would recommend watching two other Yuasa works, The Tatami Galaxy and Kaiba. Both create an amazing character-based story that flows perfectly and sits at a similar length to Ping Pong. So thanks for watching my review of Ping Pong. If you did enjoy this review, please do click the like button and share the review around. And if you want, you can subscribe or click on any of the other videos on the screen. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.